Our very first guest is a very funny comedian and actress who just wrote her first book called The Wreckage of My Presence. Please welcome Casey Wilson. What's up, Casey?
Hi.
Now, you've been on a few times, but this is actually our first time meeting. How you doing?
I'm wonderful. I'm so happy to be here and so happy to meet you.
Absolutely.
I love your dancing. I have to just say that right off the bat. You're so wonderful.
Yo, thank you very much, and I'm glad to have you here. Now, the last time you were here, you had just gotten married, and you're celebrating your 7th wedding anniversary now. So I got to clap for that. And now I got to ask, in terms of quarantine and that, how's everything going?
It's not going well. No, it is going well. Things are okay. We just celebrated, 7 years. So we went and did like a staycation away from our children, whom we love and hate. And when we got to the hotel, there's my husband, David. I will say for my birthday, he had given me what I didn't think was the most romantic gift, which was like one of those weighted blankets for anxiety. But okay, I'll take it. So then for our anniversary, he said he had tried to get me like champagne and, whatever, chocolate covered strawberries. But when we got to the hotel, I guess the management had taken matters into their own hands and I guess knew we were coming, which is all odd because it's not like I'm like Julia Roberts, but they had cookies made with our faces on them. Very nice, very generous, but unfortunately, they Googled me, and that is not my husband. That is Ken Marino, who I starred on a sitcom, Marry Me with. Ken, love Ken, and a gorgeous guy, but married to another woman.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well, I guess it's also the thought that counts, right? And also, with that, I mean, you guys are, with spending all this time together, you're now working on the new Showtime show, Black Monday. That must be fun.
It's so much fun. It's with Don Cheadle and Regina Hall. It's a dream show, and my husband created it. But I will tell you guys, I just filmed. I'm 40. I'm a mom of 2. And I'm not saying women can do it all. They can do everything. But my husband wrote me a pretty explicit sex scene.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you don't see that every day. And it is comedic. It was comedic. However, we filmed it and he's at the monitor and I'm like thinking maybe he'll be jealous, like, get something going in our relationship. And he's like, to the left, move, higher, lower. Like, a lot to process emotionally but I guess I'm grateful.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that. But I have to ask too, because like when preparing for something like that, was that like a nighttime conversation? Like, by the way, I'm writing you a sex scene. Good night. Like, like how did he break that news?
Well, he was like, look, this is going to be really funny. And it was funny because Andrew Rannells plays my husband who's come out of the closet. And so it was to show that my husband, Andrew, and we're now just like so casual around each other. We still live together. So he and I are arguing over like the rent bill to pay while I'm having sex. Right. So he just kind of told me pretty casually, and then suddenly it was a table read. And you don't really picture, I don't think that's what my grandparents envisioned for me.
Right, absolutely. Now, look, I want to switch gears just a little bit. Did you take up any new hobbies during these times? We've had a lot of time at home, so.
Thank you, Twitch, for asking. I wasn't like baking bread or doing any of that, and a lot of people, I think, like you're, as a dancer, I'm sure you have to stay in amazing shape. I should, as an actor, I don't. But I had gotten the Peloton and I was feeling really good. But like, do you have a Peloton?
I don't have a Peloton. I hear they're incredible, though.
Okay. Yeah, well, they have a leaderboard and they tell you like where you're at compared to everyone in the world. And I'm never not like 6 people from the bottom out of thousands. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people. And then it's like, God bless like 90-year-old women, doing better than me. And then I like gave it up and I love it dearly. But I was like, I'm revisiting this. The pandemic has gone on long enough. It is time for me to get back on the bike. And I guess I didn't realize how long it had been of just kind of what was, there's my shoes.
Wow. Oh, that's the...
There's my shoes.
Well, also, I can also imagine, too, that you're very busy. As you mentioned before, you have 2 kids. How old are your kids?
I have 2 boys. They're 3 and 5. So I am busy, but I mean, it's cobwebs, that's tough.
That is. But I mean, look, two boys, 3 and 5. Obviously, the adventure is nonstop. What are they into now?
Oh my gosh. I mean, they're so cute and there's just been nowhere to really take them. They're into, I don't even know
Right.
what I'm like, we run, we play, they want to tackle me, they want to jump on me all the time. I
Yes.
told them repeatedly, I don't like those games, but I will say over the pandemic, my son doesn't really like TV, my older one.
Hmm.
And I'm like, who doesn't like TV? I mean, with all the this program, for instance, I've been trying to tell him, like, here's how you watch an iPad. Like, there's a story. I have to like get him into the thing we all only want to do.
Absolutely.
That's the opposite of the way I think most parents are parenting. And then my little guy who's 3 at Christmas, quickly, our house, yeah, it was not looking great. After Christmas, there he is looking sweet.
Right.
He told me of the house. He turns to me, he's in a diaper, and he says, Mama, this house is a effing mess. What he
Wow.
said, full word, this house is an effing mess. And that's not great. It doesn't feel great as a parent.
Right.
To hear that language come out of your kid's mouth and about your cleaning.
But then also there's a part too where he's like, it's like you don't want to hear that, but then you're kind of proud too because you're like, you used it right. Like that was definitely the right context in when you said it, Like you're not wrong,
He's not wrong. It is an effing mess. And if exactly, use it in a sentence. That's beautiful.
Also, hey, we have so much more to get into. We're going to take a short break and we'll be right back, y'all. All right, we are back with Casey Wilson. And Casey, so this was something that I found very exciting, and I feel like you got to be a parent to really understand. You drive the boys around in your minivan. Tell us a little bit about the minivan, please.
I will.
Love it.
So someone told me that you have an interest in it, but your wife does not. It sounds like she's got dignity. I love my minivan. I am obsessed with it. Truly, it is a Chrysler Pacifica. This is how obsessed I am. Okay, I'm not being offered like hair care ads and like everything. I called them and I said, "Could I be a spokesperson?" And they were like, "Not our main one. You could be a lower level one which you need it. You need it. It is the Mercedes of minivans." As a friend said, like and this is just all minivans, like the hard part is walking up to it.
Right.
Once you're in, you've never lived like you've lived inside this minivan. Everything, I mean, it's like a control command center.
Exactly.
It's everything you want for your kids.
Absolutely. See, I'm gonna show this specific segment to my wife real quick because it's a rigid situation. But thank you so much for what you said. Now,
Many have said it's the Mercedes of minivans, the Chrysler Pacifica. I can't say enough about it. Again, they're not paying me for this. I love it. I love it.
But hey, let's switch gears and talk about this. Your new book, The Wreckage of My Presence. Tell everybody about that.
It's a comedic memoir, as Kris Jenner calls them, and it's comedic essays, but there's also essays about grief and parenthood and female friendship, and I think some hilarious stories, I hope. And I had a wonderful time writing it, and I hope everyone will take a look and loves it.
Absolutely, and it's also your first book, so I'd imagine that like through these memoirs you got really personal. You write about your dating life in it. Were you ever nervous about like any of your friends or your family to read it?
Twitch, I wasn't nervous about my father reading it because I've been working on the book for many years, and my father would send me text messages along the way with ideas for what to write about. And he would write me, "You gotta talk about sex sells." And it's like so upsetting to get these texts from your father. Yeah, there's one. Chapter in book on sex.
Chapter in book on sex. That was from your dad.
Yeah, that's from my
Okay.
dad.
That's hey, well he's supportive. That's what that is. He's very supportive. Now you also have a podcast about your love for reality shows on Bravo. Talk to us about that.
I have thank you, a podcast called Bitch Sesh with Daniel Schneider. We talk about the housewives. I'm done being like a Bravo housewife apologist. I think it's great shows. They're fun, honestly. And I talk about this in the book, but the housewives have been there for me more than certain friends and family members have. Like those shows are so wonderfully entertaining, and they've been honest, like lifelines to me. I love those shows. These messy women. I mean, what other shows are you watching where the women are like over 60 and living out loud, as it were? And I just love those shows, and so I love to talk about them.
And that's awesome. Well, listen, everybody should check out this book. The Wreckage of My Presence is available now. Thank you so much, Casey. We'll be right back, y'all.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Andy. Ellen asked me to remind you to subscribe to her channel so you can see more awesome videos, like videos of me getting scared or saying embarrassing things, like ball peen hammer. and also some videos of Ellen and other celebrities, if you're into that sort of thing.